and welcome to another episode of Annual Pass. This is the podcast where we talk about theme parks, rides, attractions, food, snacks, you name it, anything having to do with the world of amusement and entertainment in theme park form happens here on Annual Pass. I am your host, Jack Pattillo, and of course, joining me as always is my beautiful, talented, and lovely co-host, Mr. Geoff Ramsey. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hello, Jack.
How are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. My back's a little sore. I went running. I'm still training for that Disney marathon right now.
Okay, well, I didn't ask for your life story, but thank you.
Well, no, you did. You said, how are you doing?
Your back is sore.
It was an open-ended question.
I'll be honest with you, Jack. I'm transitioning from the Achievement Hunter office into the Annual Pass office.
You're
so it's a stepping down process. I apologize. Anyway, you were saying your back's hurting from training.
So we talked about this, I think, last time we recorded. This is kind of an interesting episode because we're recording way in advance. Yeah. So we're doing our best not to date this, but I'm training for the Disney Marathon, which happens in January.
Okay.
And so with that, it's like every other week I'm running a longer distance. And this past Sunday, I ran 10 miles. Which is just, I ran all the way.
Without stopping?
I did a 5K, and then I walked a kilometer, and then I did a 5K, walked a kilometer, and then I did a 3K.
Okay,
So I mean.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Pretty good chunk of it. It was a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which is, wild. I've never done that before. But,
hey.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
In all seriousness. I've never, well, if I did it was in the Army when I was 18 years old. So,
I was going to say, you're not a 39-year-old dude. Yeah, and so I was like, all right, I felt pretty good about it, and then I messed up because you're supposed to give yourself a couple days rest after that, and I'm like, I'll give myself 1 day rest. I'm trying to give myself, like, every other day go run. And then yesterday, which is 2 days after, I would try to go run, and it did not go well. The first, 2 kilometers was okay. I was just doing a 5K. First 2K went okay, and then it was like, no, my legs started locking up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to push myself. I don't want to hurt myself. I'm going to slow down.
You're not doing yourself any favors if you try to cram it in.
Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? So I ended up walking like two of the 5K. And so I'm like, but you know what? I still did it. And I'm trying not to kill myself right now.
Well, that's cool. I began a training regimen yesterday as well.
Oh, really?
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it because I don't want to get into it. But I'm doing a very specific training regimen for a very specific reason.
Oh, yeah?
But it's a lot of physical activity.
Okay.
And I'll just say I'm a little sore in certain areas too.
I'm excited to find out more about that. So for those of you tuning in right now, thank you very much. Thank you everyone who follows us on social media as well. Annual_pass on Instagram and on Twitter. We post there, post cool stuff. We're also Annual Pass at roosterteeth.com. We appreciate you. And Rooster Teeth is the best way to go and watch the show. We also read all the comments on all of the episodes there. Also, if you're a first member, which is the way to directly support Rooster Teeth and our show, you can get access to the show a day early. They actually, we're doing 24 hours advance, and there's also a first RSS feed where you can listen to it on various podcast platforms and get like the premium, no ad version of the podcast. They asked me to mention that. And so
okay,
I should probably mention that.
Hopefully those people will be respectful of all the big spoilers that we have in this show. But it's a very powerful 24-hour window you have access to.
Yeah. It's interesting because like podcasts are a thing. Or do you listen to podcasts like the day they come out? Like you hear it and it's like I got to listen to it immediately, or it's kind of like, all right, I've got a new one I'm going to get to.
So yes to both.
Okay.
Honestly. Like there are podcasts that. I make a point of listening to, and I get excited about on the day they come out. But, podcasts are probably my primary form of entertainment at this point in my life. Maybe half and half between podcasting and sport.
Okay.
Sports on TV, So there's a few that are like, I'm super jazzed when Bad Friends comes out and I want to listen to it immediately. But there's a bunch of others that I queue up and I can go, oh, right, I forgot that I listened to that podcast and I'll go catch up on like 3 episodes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
but it's not, I don't do a lot of appointment viewing for podcasts.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same. I make sure to listen to it, within the week before the next episode comes out. But yeah. Anyway, however you support or however you listen to Annual Pass, though, please keep doing it because you guys are fantastic. We love you very much. Also, we're trying something new. Whether or not this is actually going to come out or not, we actually have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Annual Pass. As a matter of fact, we are filming this episode right now. The idea we're not a video podcast. I want to lay that first and foremost. We're an audio podcast, but we're going to just post like, hey, here's the video of us recording the episode. If you want to watch that or watch it on YouTube or wherever else may post, you can. Just giving you more options to consume the media that is Annual Pass.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that, Jack.
Yeah.
I do, once again, about half. I go about 50-50. Some podcasts I watch, some I listen to.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just depends on where I am and how badly I want to ingest it.
Yeah.
Like there are a few that I prefer to watch, but if I'm, away from home on my bike and bored, I'll listen to it. Yeah.
Not looking at your phone while riding your bike around town.
I try to limit that.
Probably be bad.
Yeah.
So, well, Jeff, we have a fun episode today. We're going back to EPCOT, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, to actually check out a ride that replaced a classic attraction. We're going to be going to Mission Space.
Mission Space?
Mission Space. So this is a controversial attraction, and the fact that it is one of the most intense attractions at EPCOT, really at all of Disney World in Florida, and also in what it replaced. Some people weren't happy because Mission Space sits on top of where an old ride called Horizons used to be, which was kind of a future look into what the world will be. And Mission Space kind of got dropped right on top of it. As a matter of fact, Horizons had a very distinct looking building, and they just tore the whole thing down. They literally had like just demolition, just wreck the thing, and they couldn't hide it. So it was like it was pretty violent. That was just like, oh, that building's getting shredded right now. Epcot's going through a lot of
that's really sad.
Massive
I remember
changes.
that. I remember that.
It's the one that's kind of like up and sort of like very Star Wars looking kind of building.
I remember it being like one of the draws when I was a kid. It was
It was the World of Motion, and then not Universe of Life. What was it called? The Life Pavilion. It's now becoming the Let's Play Pavilion. Then Horizons, and then and then move on from there. Then you get into the Lake of the Lake of Nations. No, the Ring of Nations. What the area behind where they have all the different continents and stuff, different countries and stuff. I'm terrible that I forget.
Well, you know the Earth is round, right? So there's no
That's
behind.
true.
It just
It
keeps spinning.
It does keep going. But anyway, so this one's kind of cool. So Disney actually worked in conjunction with NASA to build this attraction, to actually use the same kind of idea, the same sort of stuff that NASA astronauts use to be trained on. So do you know anything about Mission Space at all?
No.
Okay. So Mission Space, when it comes down to it, is a giant centrifuge. So they actually put you in a seat and the whole thing spins around. So you've seen some like carnival rides and stuff like that are similar. This is the highest tech version of those kinds of rides you could have had.
Ah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Visual gags for an audio podcast.
Perfect.
No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's.
Have you done it? How many times have you done it?
I've done it a few times. So
is it nauseating?
Yeah, it is quite nauseating, as a matter of fact. So we'll get into the reasons behind that. Let me read it. So this is from Wikipedia. The attraction opened to the public in a soft opening mode in June of 2003 and celebrated its grand opening on October 9th with a ceremony attended by Disney CEO Michael Eisner, Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina, and NASA Administrator Sean O'Keefe, as well as several NASA astronauts from its many phases of human space exploration.
I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but
yeah, Carly Fiorina.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to make sure I heard that right.
So Carly Fiorina, for those of you who follow American politics, she actually ran for president under the Republican ticket, ended up losing the nomination to Trump. Yeah, and actually, as a matter of fact, Ted Cruz said he would make her his running mate if he were to get the nomination. So she's involved with politics, is now still very much involved with politics. Yeah. She comes from the background of Hewlett-Packard.
I guess I didn't realize that. And you said this was in 2003?
2003, so this is about 20 years ago. So
we were both in Texas when this happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have been the soft opening. Yeah, so because I was in Florida. I was working in Florida spring of 2002, so I just missed out on this. The attraction was built on the former site of Horizons, a dark ride that offered optimistic visions of what life might be like in the future. Horizons closed permanently in 1999 after a few years of sporadic operation. Construction began on Mission Space shortly thereafter. Industry estimates put the cost of developing the new attraction at $100 million. The pavilion, like the others at Epcot, features a VIP lounge for Hewlett-Packard employees called the Red Planet Room. We got to get into these secret rooms. This is this podcast is the first time I'm ever finding out about these secret rooms.
Check out this red room. Also, I hate to belabor a point, but I had a thought while we were going through this. What was the date on that again?
It was 2003.
Yeah, but what was the date?
June. So it was June.
That's what I thought.
June 2003.
So Rooster Teeth is 2 months older than this ride.
Really?
Yeah, we started April 2003.
Hey, April 1st, 2003. That's cool.
Huh. Crazy.
Wow. So this ride is just a hair younger than all of Rooster Teeth.
All of Rooster Teeth.
We're coming up on 20 years. That's wild.
Isn't that insane?
Let's see here.
All right, that's my last date-related interruption, I promise.
Initially, it was sponsored by Compaq, which began working with Disney Imagineers on the design in April of 2000. Hewlett-Packard assumed the sponsorship upon its merger with Compaq in 2002. So Compaq, the computer company, merged with HP, and then it became just HP. The attraction was completely closed for refurbishment in June 5th, 2017. During the D23 Expo 2017, it was confirmed that the green mission would be given a new video simulating a flight around Earth, and the orange mission would keep the Mars mission, but with updated graphics. The attraction reopened on August 13th, 2017. So the way this thing is, the way this thing works, initially when it opened, it was just one mission. You would go in. There are 4 centrifuges that you don't know. You go in and they put you on a ride. So you go inside.
They just
kind of.
you just go through a queue.
They're like, we're loading this one next. We're loading this one next. So you go in. You step into this thing. You are just absolutely bombarded with warnings and like, hey, this is a serious thing. This is a very serious attraction. If you're afraid of enclosed spaces, if you get claustrophobia, if you have back issues, if you have heart issues, just running down the list of everything bad. It's like, hey, warning, this is a lot more serious than a lot of people think. You go through all that. If you say yes to all that, fine. They load you onto the attraction. It's 4 people wide. And it's this tiny little compartment, like maybe from like me to like literally like this. It's basically like super small. You slide over, sit down, 4 people shoulder to shoulder on this thing. And then the front falls down in front of you, actually closes you in. So you're in pretty tight. You've got a screen in front of you. And
is it like enclosed?
It's totally enclosed.
In like metal or glass or?
No, it's like a box. I mean, it's like maybe Ben can pull up a photo for
push
it.
Your arm, punch
no,
your
no. It's like literally you're in like a
contained box.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so you're made to look like you're on a rocket ship basically. So you have like controls in front of you. There's a screen in front of you that mounted, and then there's like an engineer. There's a captain. Like everyone has roles, and there's buttons all over the place too, which I love.
There's only 4 people per module.
Only 4 people per module.
4 modules, so they're only running 16.
No. There's something probably like, I want to say 20-ish modules per
centrifuge.
Yes, per centrifuge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
okay.
and
I was trying to understand the scale.
No worries, yeah. And so you get inside of this thing, and then when everyone's loaded in, they shut the door, and then it kind of seals in. It actually gets closer to you, so you feel even more compact. You've got a little drop bar that pulls down to keep your shoulders in place.
Love it.
And then you're looking at the screen, and it's a parallax screen, which is 2 screens kind of like intertwined. I don't know the technology, but it basically gives you a 3D perspective without having to wear 3D goggles. It's actually really neat. I think Ben might have a photo of so that's what you're looking at here. So there's like the commander thing. So we're looking at a video, so you can kind of see like this is what you're looking at sitting in the seat. You're literally surrounded by stuff, and you've got your screen and everything right in front of you. And so your main focus is going to be on this screen as you go through and ride along.
Oh, man.
Well, we'll ride through the whole thing here in a little bit.
That was cool, though.
It's really, really neat. And so you get all strapped in and everything, and then when the ride starts going, it starts spinning around. And and it spins and actually will tilt. There you go. So there's a good photo of kind of what the thing looks like. But it also tilts like side to side and back and forth as well. And the spinning is not just like a constant spinning thing. It'll go faster, it'll go slower, depending on what you're looking at to recreate the feel of launching into outer space. Yeah. Have you ever wanted to go to outer space, Jeff?
Not. Yes, but absolutely, I would love to go to outer space, but in a distant outer space. I don't want to go to early outer space where it's inconvenient and a little more dangerous. They haven't worked out the kinks, and it's not super comfortable yet.
Okay.
I want to go on, like when American Airlines starts flying first class to the moon, I want to do that.
I'm sure it'll be cheap, so you don't have to worry about that. Of course, with Disney, everything is themed like crazy. So when you actually walk in through the queue, the outside is really beautiful. It's got this big Mars with like the Mission Space logo going around. There's different like history markers all over the walls talking about sort of man's, history of kind of space flight from, like it was Yuri Gagarin who was the first person to break the sound limit, I think.
I think so, yeah.
And then all the way up to, Neil Armstrong landing on the moon and like so forth and so on. And they have a couple like, and the first time we went to Mars was this date. They added a couple extra ones like 2030 or whatever. Anyway, so the idea is like you're now going to step on and go to Mars because now it is at a point where anyone can go and it's not a big deal. Like they can just throw anyone in and be fine with it.
Yeah.
Of course, when you walk through the queue, they actually have a bit of some Horizons history. So Horizons, when they tore it down, they took all the animatronics out and stuff. And there's a big like rotating walk path type thing, and they actually threw that from Horizons into Mission Space. So it's like a space station you're looking at. So that's a nice little throwback to the old attraction, which is kind of cool. Also, the Horizons logo is everywhere, all over the attraction as well, kind of like hidden Mickey type stuff. Once you get in and you get to the point where you're starting to look at video screens and stuff, there is a commander who tells you like, hey, you know, welcome cadets, like we're going to send you to Mars today. And kind of they go through the mission. It's like, we're going to, you know, you're going to go into outer space. We're going to kick on some things. Then we're going to put you in hypersleep. You'll wake up 3 months later and you're at Mars, and then you'll land and you'll be safe. It'll all be great. And that person in the initial version of the ride was Gary Sinise.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty cool. So Lieutenant Dan himself.
Was he playing Gary Sinise?
No, he was playing Captain something. I forget the actual character's name.
They recast Gary. It must be who did they replace him with?
So he was your commander on the ground. So in August of 2017, when they redid the whole thing, they replaced him with Gina Torres. Do you know who that is? I can guarantee you've seen her and probably heard her too.
That name is very familiar.
Gina Torres was Zoe in Firefly. She was the one dating Wash. Okay. She was the one dating Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
She's also a Cora Ray in Destiny.
Yeah. I think that's what I was.
She's the voice of the Warlock.
That's very cool.
Person. So anyway, she replaced her. Kind of controversial because Gary Sinise did a fantastic job. Her job, if you're a fan of Gary Sinise, it was kind of like, she doesn't deliver the lines. Was that as much gravitas? I think maybe that he did. I don't care. It really doesn't matter to me. But
so what I'm hearing is that you're a closet Sinise stan. Good to know.
That's near Uzbekistan, right?
Yes, Sinistan is near Uzbekistan. Yes.
And so also at some point throughout the sort of formation of the ride, very quickly they realize, this ride is making people very sick and is a little bit more intense than we thought, because it is just a centrifuge and it's also enclosed, so you have no perspective of where you're at. You're completely sealed in, and so you don't know that you're moving, and the screen in front of you is static, so your brain and your ears, more specifically, know that you're spinning around, but your body and everything else feels like it's not. So, and it's actually weird, when you're going slower is when it's more painful. The faster you go, the less bad it is, because apparently you have hairs in your ears that judge balance, and the faster you go, those hairs kind of just basically stick to your head, and they don't know you're going side to side anymore.
Oh, that's good to know.
I think I learned that from Mr. Wizard back in the day. So anyway, very intense ride. Shortly after the attraction was open, I want to say a few months after the attraction was open, they actually put barf bags in the ride. It's the only ride, as far as I know of, that actually has barf bags in it. So like literally like a plane, they have those barf bags, and it's like, because they have a lot of protein spills on that ride, which is the code word.
Right. I remember that.
For vomiting. So I think a lot of the times Mission Space is down is mainly for cleanup duties. But when they have to clean up stuff, they have to shut the whole thing down, and they only had 4 centrifuges to do this.
Yeah.
So shortly after the ride was open, they made half of these centrifuges, 2 of them, into a green version, and then the original one is called the orange version. So like the orange mission is the one that does the spinning,
yeah.
And the green one, basically all it does is tilt back and forth. It doesn't spin anymore. It spins 1 revolution over the whole course of the ride. What
else did Mr. Wizard teach you about this ride?
Centripetal force. Like if you're holding on to a tire and someone spins it, you can like turn yourself back. And anyway,
what I learned from Mr. Wizard?
What's that?
Sarcasm. He was a mean guy. You ever come back and watch those
just
clips?
Picking on kids?
Yeah.
Like, no, you idiot.
He was a bully.
Anyway, so the green mission was basically the exact same mission. It just wouldn't spin you around.
Okay.
Although it would rotate 1 time around. And there's actually a great channel called Amusement Labs, which they do great stuff like how stuff works. And I pulled a lot of information from them. And they said basically they would spin it 1 time just to make sure it wasn't broken. So basically they would just keep it going, kind of like greasing the wheels, making sure it was okay.
Have you ridden both versions?
I have not ridden the green mission.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, in 2017 when they redid it, ILM redid the entire mission. So all the visuals and stuff you see are completely redone in 2017. And the green mission got replaced with one. Instead of doing the exact same thing where you go to Mars, you do a rotation around the Earth. So it's basically you take off and you look at Earth and spin around it, and then you land on Earth. And so from what I understand too, they're not sure, but it seems like the tilting back and like side to side and back and forth is identical to the one going to Mars, just so they didn't have to reprogram it. So they actually just kind of used the exact same thing. So because it was kind of a pain to actually program out the whole tilting stuff. So other than the actual centrifuge part, it's identical.
How much did it affect you when you rode it?
The last time I did it, I definitely got, I was pretty nauseous after it was over. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. And so I haven't ridden it in a long time. As a matter of fact, the last time I went, Katie had never ridden on it. And I was like, all right, let's go ride it. And we had some friends with us. And then, right at the end, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. And just walked and let her do it.
Did you know you were going to do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You were planning on walking?
Yeah, I knew I was going to walk. And so, so she did it, and she was not happy with me afterwards, shockingly enough. And it's pretty intense, man. I gotta say, I would do it again. If you've never done it, I would do it with you. I would just
not your wife.
I'll ride it with her. I'll ride it with Katie. But yeah, I mean, then again, I haven't done the green mission either, so we could absolutely do that. But maybe I'll jump into the orange.
We'll work our way.
Mission.
We gotta go. You gotta start with green. Work your way up to orange.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff. That's a little bit of explanation about how this works. Are you ready to ride Mission Space with me?
Before we start, I have a question.
What's that?
And I meant to ask it earlier. I don't know if we've covered this before, so I apologize if we have. But you mentioned the Horizon logos everywhere.
Yeah.
And you said they were kind of like hidden Mickeys. And that got me wondering, do they have hidden Mickeys in Epcot?
Yeah, there's hidden Mickeys.
Okay, so there's probably hidden Mickeys in this ride as well.
There's probably some. I don't know where they are. They're not
Gotcha.
as pervasive as they used to be. Kind of back in the 90s, that was the hotness. I remember I had a book. It was here's all the hidden Mickeys at Epcot. Here's all the hidden Mickeys in Magic Kingdom. And that was a thing that people would do. And now it just doesn't seem like people care as much anymore. I assume they're still there. But it just doesn't seem to be as big of a thing. I'm sure they exist in Mission Space.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite hidden Mickey? I can think of one. There's one in the original Tron when they're on the light glider when they're going across, right when they get on. There's mountains in the background and stuff, and there's a giant Mickey face and on the ground as they go blowing by. It's really cool.
I like the idea of hidden stuff. I like the idea of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
That's pretty germane to what we do with video games here at work. But I also just love collectibles. So it's like real world collectibles, So it definitely appeals to me.
It's neat when they sneak stuff like that, especially in a theme park of that nature. So
it more than anything else, I think the thing that I really dig about it is it just shows a level of effort and care of the product and the experience for the people. That is an extra step that they don't have to do. That Disney would do just as well financially with or without things like hidden Mickeys. But the fact that they go that extra mile and they do that, I think it even subconsciously, I think it pays dividends to the customers.
And it rewards people who pay attention.
Yes, absolutely.
It's for an annual pass holder goes all the time. It's let me just add an extra layer of something that
it's another way to enjoy the park.
Yeah, some people would completely miss it or gloss over it, and that would not affect them in any way. But it's someone who does know what to look for. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So I love stuff. That's the windows on Main Street USA. There's so much cool stuff, hidden little things. I can't wait to take you to Florida and actually go through Disney together.
I can't wait.
That's going to be a blast. We got to go. Maybe for our 1 year anniversary, we'll have an Orlando event, and we'll get Ken Marino to ride Rock and Roller Coaster with us. And we'll do a live show in Orlando, and we'll go to all the Disney parks.
Our Ken Marino is on my new favorite show, and he's awesome in it. The other two.
Oh yeah.
Are you going tomorrow, right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, so this will be a month old at this point. I went.
Oh, I'm sorry, we weren't supposed to date it.
That's okay. I went out to Orlando for the Magic Kingdom 50th anniversary, which is kind of cool.
How do you think it went?
I think it went pretty well. New fireworks show, so I got to check that out.
You were pretty pleased and excited and happy?
I'm pretty happy with it.
Congratulations in advance.
Thank you. Right. And hey, don't forget, we went to Universal Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights too. How do you think that?
Right. I can't believe how fun that was. I was equal parts scared and entertained. It was awesome.
It was a blast. Yeah. I'm sure there's tons of content over on our YouTube channel as well. So, all right, Jeff.
Yes, let's
without further ado, you and me are going to ride Mission Space. We're going to do the orange one, okay, which is the scary one.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
We're going to do it.
All right, here we go. Jeff!
Jack!
Hey, we're at Epcot. Okay, we're already through. We're on Mission Space, Jeff. This is going to be very scary and fast.
This is going to be a puker.
Okay, well, we're in the orange team, so we're going to go ahead and sit down on our four things. I'm going to make you the engineer, okay?
Yeah, okay.
They're going to ask
that's not an important job, is it?
It's a very important job. They're going to ask you to push buttons at different points in a ride. All right, Jeff, so we're inside. We've locked in. They've got us settled in. We're looking out of our rocket. We're looking out of the rocket. Look at that. You can see the big bay doors where we're sitting, Jeff. While everything else, you can hear all the stuff going around us, like the crazy sound effects, and we can hear them moving things around, and there's wrenches and things falling out of the sky. Maybe not falling, but they're prepping for it.
Floating in the sky.
Well, no, we're on Earth right now.
Right.
Because we haven't taken off yet, Jeff. That's how gravity works.
Yeah. You passed my test. Continue.
It's falling. Anyway. All right, Jeff, here we go. They're tilting us up. They're angling us up at the sky,
it's a
Jeff.
Beautiful day.
Oh, look at the birds. Oh, we're going to hit those birds. They need to move out of the way. That's probably not. Okay, they're counting down, Jeff. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. Oh, we're launching, Jeff. Whoa! Can you
I feel like we're probably rumbling.
No,
I think
we're rumbling. We're being pushed back in our seat. Whoa! We're back in our seat. We're flying through the air, Jeff. We're down. We're going into outer space, and we can feel it pushing
Can
back.
I feel the G? How many vertical G's
I
am
think
I feeling?
There's like 2.5 G's, Jeff.
2.5 vertical G's.
That's so many. That's so many gravities pushing up against us. Oh, look, we're into the black sky, Jeff. We've made it. We've crossed the atmosphere.
That was so fast.
We're in a very, very fast rocket, Jeff. All right, Jeff. So now we're floating around. Okay. Oh, and we're this is scary. Oh, you feel like weightless now. It feels like we're floating. Oh, it's because the thing tilted forward now. It feels like we're floating. Now, okay, we're gonna spin around the Earth, Jeff.
How are my ear hairs feeling right about
Watch
now?
out, the satellite, Jeff.
Oh,
Whoa! That was close. The ear hairs they're kind of relaxed because we're not going as fast.
Okay.
Look down, Jeff. You can see our house. It's Earth.
I can't see it.
It's
Jack.
like, oh, it's the moon. Space station, Jeff. We're getting really. Oh,
that's way too close to a space station.
Whoa! Okay,
Jeez.
we barely missed the
That
space
seems
station.
very unsafe.
All right, Jeff. We're gonna use the moon's gravity to slingshot us to Mars. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, here we go, Jeff. We're getting real close to the moon. We're gonna fly around the moon. It's the dark side of the moon. Pink Floyd told us about this. Whee! Okay, now we're flying around the moon. We're getting a lot of speed. There's Earth. Say goodbye to it one last time.
Bye, Earth.
Bye. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna gun it. Now the commander's telling us to push all the buttons. So okay, we're like pushing like stage 2 and all the things. You can hear all the things.
Why didn't we go all the way over to the moon to slingshot back over? Why don't we just slingshot off Earth?
I don't know.
Bigger, more gravity.
All right, Jeff. Okay, we got to press the hypersleep thing. All right.
All right, I'm gonna press.
Okay. Now, oh, it's so cold. Wait, are you snoring? Don't snore. Jeff, wake up!
Ah, I thought we were supposed to sleep for 3 years.
We've been sleeping for a long time. Oh God, there's an asteroid field,
Jesus.
Jeff. We woke up. There's
Empire
asteroids
Strikes
everywhere.
Back.
Oh
I
God.
remember this part.
Oh no, there's asteroids everywhere. We gotta dodge.
There's a shoe.
Grab the thing and move us around, Jeff.
I'm grabbing it.
Okay, we're gonna dodge. Woo! Oh boy. Okay, this is scary. That's not something you want to wake up to after being in cryo sleep for all that time.
No.
And we're trying. There's Mars, Jeff.
Oh.
Look at it. Woo! I want to put a new house down there, Jeff.
I think that's this mission, right?
All right, we made it through the asteroid field. Now let's go down to Mars. Whoa, I can feel us. We're speeding up a little bit. We're speeding up. Okay, now we're gonna flatten out. We gotta find the landing pad, Jeff. You ready?
This is so cool.
It's pretty neat, right? Okay, we're entering the Martian atmosphere. Start the reactor. Okay, now we're going. Okay, now the wings have engaged. Now we're flying. It's like we're a plane at this point, Jeff, because now we've got to land because they have a Martian base here waiting for us, Jeff.
This is so cool.
It's pretty neat, right? It's red mountains. So much red. Why is it red? Is it zinc? Is that what's in the thing? I forget.
So much zinc.
Oh, wee! We're flying over into that. Look, all these craters. This seems a little bit risky to get into the canyon like this.
Well,
why
turn and burn.
Why are we flying around like this? Seems to. There it is, Jeff. That's
You
where we
can
need to
ride
land.
back into
We're
town.
going a little too fast, Jeff. Okay, hit the brakes, Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff, okay. Oh, okay, we're on the runway. We're on the runway, Jeff. Okay, we're down. They're saying what 200 feet, 50 feet. Why aren't we stopping, Jeff?
I don't know, Jack. This looks like when they kidnapped Tony Stark in Iron Man 1.
We went off the end. We went off the end. Oh no. Okay. Oh, Jeff. Oh, okay. We're still starting slow. Slow. Oh. Okay. We've made. Wait. Why are there alarms going off? Jeff, there's alarms going on. Oh no! Oh, the ice!
Oh dear God!
Oh, the ice broken. Okay. Oh, hold your breath. Don't move.
Back up. Hit reverse. What's the reverse button?
We landed. Oh, we're not gonna fall off, Jeff. We've done it. We made it to Mars, Jeff.
Was that it?
That was it. We're done.
Oh, no, it's just like, all right, get out.
We're finished. We made it to Mars now, Jeff. The first thing we can do when we visit Mars, we got to go to the gift shop.
Yeah. That was intense.
Pretty intense, right? It's pretty quick, but man, a lot of stuff happens very, very fast.
I didn't know there was that much snow on Mars.
Yeah, well, we found an ice cap. That's where we get our water from on Mars, obviously.
Yeah, I just didn't realize there was water on Mars. Okay. Easy peasy.
That does it. That is mission space. And you have to think about all of the shaking back and forth and the centrifuge pushing you back and stuff.
At what point did I throw up?
Probably pretty early on.
Like
when
we
it
were
first
still in Earth?
When it first kicks on, because it kicks on pretty hard for the launch, and then it slows down when you're weightless. So when it actually comes to almost a complete stop when you're weightless, and it tilts you forward so you kind of fall out of your seat so you feel like you're flying.
Yeah.
And then you kick on like the second booster, and that pushes you back. And then you get to Mars, you float again, and then it speeds up and it slows down. It's kind of a weird back and forth thing. So it's pretty wild. Now, there's some cool innovations in this ride. Obviously, they know people are going to get motion sickness. So one of the things they did, they actually added fans on either side of your head.
Smart.
To blow some air onto you to try to give you some cool air to kind of like, make it where you're not going to get as sick. So that's pretty clever. You go 2.5 Gs, I think linear or not vertical. So I guess linear Gs because it's pushed back.
We were going up to space.
That's
space
true.
is above us.
That's true. So 2.5 Gs, 2.5 gravities, and the whole thing spins around about 35 miles an hour. So it's moving pretty quick, and that's pretty significant there. One thing too, so when you get on the attraction, you don't see it obviously when you're getting on, but the floor underneath the centrifuge, under all the different pods, actually drops down because the thing doesn't expand out or anything, but it tilts. And if it didn't drop down, it would tilt and hit the floor. So the floor actually does sink down a little bit to give it more room to kind of wiggle back and forth. So
that's cool.
You can look at the floor and see where the actual part drops down next time you get on, or the first time you ever get on. I didn't know this, but yeah, the cabin actually does tilt left and right as well. So not just up and down, back and forth, it does tilt side to side. It's like when you're in the asteroids dodging around, you're actually going left and right. It's rocking the whole cabin.
I wonder what ride has the distinction, and there would be no way to determine this, I'm sure, but I wonder if it were possible to figure out in the universe. I would love to know which ride has generated the most protein spills over time.
I got to say, this one's probably got to be up there.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact they do put vomit bags in the actual attraction says a lot. And I wonder,
they install fans and stuff.
Yeah.
It must be.
I wonder if the vomit bag's actually like branded. Because that'd be a fun souvenir to get, right? Then again, I'm willing to bet people would just walk out with them, whether or not they use them. Hopefully, they walk out. If they do use them, they throw them away.
They don't want to walk out with after I'm done.
Also, right now, so brand new as of September, Space 220. It's a brand new restaurant attached to Mission Space. It's like right next to it. That it's a new restaurant dining experience where the idea is you go in a space elevator and it takes you into space and you eat with a giant bay window that overlooks the Earth. It's like it's all done with like crazy.
It's like the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the one where a Lone Star and Barf went after saving the Queen Valeria or whatever, or Princess Valeria? Yeah, so it basically has like this big bay window and it looks out over Earth, and they have like space drinks and stuff. It's supposed to be really cool, and it's it's the newest restaurant in Epcot. Epcot actually is really good restaurants, so I want to check it out. I'm pretty sure it's crazy booked right now, so maybe someday, maybe when we go for our anniversary, we can go and eat at Space 220 with Ken Marino.
I would love that.
Excellent. So that's pretty much it I have for all of the sort of Easter eggs and fun facts about it. Again, shout out to Amusement Labs. Watch their How Mission Space Works video. It's really cool. The guy actually 3D printed the centrifuge and like the capsules and everything, and shows how like they twist and move and stuff. It's really, really neat. So I love that kind of stuff. So give them a view if you can. So that's gonna do it for Mission Space. Any lingering questions about space, Jeffrey?
No, I don't think so. No. I'm intrigued by this ride. I think I'm excited about the green ride. See how I feel.
Well, we do that. We'll
very excited about a nice restaurant.
Yeah, well,
I love the eating experience.
We'll do the green one and then see how we feel, and maybe if we're feeling up for it, we go over to the orange one.
Yeah, maybe.
And so I would do it again. If you've never ridden it, I would do it for you. So.
I have a bit of an iron stomach when it comes to roller coaster rides.
That's true.
Who knows? We'll see.
Ask Forbidden Journey. So that's going to do it for Mission Space. Thank you very much, everyone, for checking that out. It is a very interesting attraction, the fact that it is so intense for a theme park. So give it a shot if you're out there. Let us know. If you have any experiences with Mission Space, if you've had to use one of the sick bags, let us know in the comments. I love reading stories about people's experiences on rides. It's pretty rad. So, Jeff, are you ready for some Q&A that I've pulled from our friends over at Rooster Teeth?
I think so.
All right, so the pass holders went on Rooster Teeth and left us comments on a previous episode. This is from an older episode. I went through, just pulled down some questions. Because we are recording pretty far in advance, I don't have the answers from the question I asked them, because this is going to be way. And so I'm like, but I'll still throw a question out there for you. We'll do the future. But we've got some Q&A here. This one is from Carson Ibarra. Hey, Jack and Jeff. First of all, love the podcast. It's probably my favorite podcast you guys do outside of maybe the main RT podcast. Secondly, I have some questions for you. Number one, what would you guys want to see in a Halo-themed attraction or area? And number two, if there were to be a Halo-themed area with a Griffball-themed attraction, would you two reprise your roles as Stu Stewman and Griff if asked? That's fun. So a Halo-themed attraction. That is a little surprising. There isn't like a Halo something yet. Like, who do you think would own that? I mean, Man, I could picture Universal doing something fun.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a good point. I have a question for this individual though.
For
Before
Carson?
I answer there, for Carson, what does Annual Pass have to do to jump that Rooster Teeth podcast to be number one on the list? Just tell us what we got to do.
Yeah. We're willing. We're listening. We're still young. We're still fresh. We're flexible. We can totally change things around. What would you want to see? I would love to see a Banshee themed roller coaster. That could be fun, like a sky coaster.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to mind is a ride that mimics the last level of Halo 1 or Halo 3.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the escapes.
The escapes.
Oh,
yeah.
that could be fun.
Like the flutter chasing you, and you're trying to race through, and I mean, obviously you couldn't fail like you can in Halo.
I could see something like that, like a Mummy style ride, where it's got like a mix of like dark ride type stuff, like scenes happening in front of you, like Cortana. Oh god, think of the Cortana they could pull off.
Yeah.
There's a Ray.
They could do that stupid grave mine thing where like she and the grave mine come in and you're like going fast and it slows you down and it goes
yeah.
She's like, get out of my head, and then
that would be
zoom and then you speed off.
Yeah, that would be cool if like everything's slowed down around you to make it feel like time is like slowed down.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that would be really sick actually.
Yeah.
We should design this. So if you're listening, if you work at Universal or Disney,
attention Jim Schul.
and have Jim Schul absolutely come on, or we can talk to Graydon and get him to help us out, or Gregory, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yes, and also, of course, I would come back as Stu Stewman if there was a Griff Ball attraction. I think the Griff Ball attraction would be like a whack-a-mole thing, where it's just like whack-a-griff.
I'm contractually required to be Griff until I die, so I don't have a choice.
SC363B says, Jack, I'm also running the Disney Marathon. I've run a few races this year, and as someone in the older side of your viewers, here's my tip for a first-time marathon runner. This is going to be good. Thank you. When the Disney Marathon starts, you will have more energy for the first 5 miles than ever before. People will be cheering. Everyone will be running fast. You'll be lost in the sights. It's very easy, and every first-timer does this to start too fast. Keep your plan for the first 10 miles, even though you will feel like you can go much faster. Doing this, you'll feel a little sad as you'll be passed by many people at the start, but in the second half of the race, it'll be very mentally rewarding as you pass them back because they used up too much energy in the start. Make your plan and stick to it. That's a good tip right there.
That's a great tip.
I know, for example, like for they haven't released the map for like the actual track or the course they're going to do, but the last one they did in 2019 in person, you start at EPCOT, like you start in the parking lot of EPCOT, and the first thing you do is run to Magic Kingdom, go around the lagoon, the Seven Seas Lagoon, and run into Magic Kingdom, down Main Street, USA, with literally hundreds of people cheering you on in the side. The castle is all lit up, and you run down Main Street, USA, and then run through the castle. It's awesome. It's so cool. And so I can imagine being like, I'm going to run a million miles an hour, like through that, like feeling like all super like tough and fast. I don't want to do that. I don't want to burn out so fast because there's more to it. It's literally a marathon. They say, you know, you get to take it every step. So thank you for the tip, SC363B. That is very, very nice of you.
You should thank that person in person at the race.
I would love to. I'm curious how many, if you're an annual pass listener, if you're a pass holder out there and you're going to the marathon, let me know because I'm curious if we can get like a group of us.
You decided on we decided on pass holder, not Elise Williams'
Yeah.
suggestion. Yeah, okay.
No pass holder. We got the pass holders. I wonder if we could convince Tony and the guys in merch to maybe make like some running bibs or something, or like a running
I'm sure they would.
jersey.
I'm sure they would. I've got them making like jet ski apparel for my podcast. So like the thing you put on the back of your sunglasses, so your Oakleys, so you don't lose them, and like the thing that helps your keys float if you drop
really?
them. Yeah.
Wow.
A bunch of other stuff like that.
Well, I wonder if we do like a small run. Like if we have, if there's
sure.
20 of us, like hey, but at the same time too, I would like it to be something like that I would actually wear, like a sweat wicking one, because I have like running outfits that I wear that are specifically made for running, and I'm like, I don't want to get just a shirt. I'm going to need something that's actually pretty intense. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah, maybe we can do that. And so maybe if you're going to run the marathon, let me know. That'd be cool. Amethyst Lauren 11 says, if you could insert yourself into any ride or attraction, i.e. like be the voiceover at like an animatronic or an actor in a stunt show or just a face or masked character, which one would it be? So if you could be in an attraction or a show, what would you want to be? Do you have any thoughts?
I mean, my theme park palette is so limited because at this point we haven't gone. And I'm still,
You could be one of the cops of the ET ride. It's like, whoa!
I could be a cop.
There
of
he
ET.
is.
That would be fun. I wouldn't. I feel like I keep going back to the same 3 rides, but I wouldn't mind being it would make no sense, and that's what I would like about it. And I would be me. I wouldn't play a character. I would want to be a picture hanging in the Harry Potter.
Oh yeah,
queue. Yeah. I'd talk about stuff. I'd just talk about annual pass. I'd say a few things about,
like where are the restrooms around here? Has anyone seen the magical restrooms?
I don't feel so good.
That'd be pretty neat. Where would I want to go? Man, I've always wanted to do Jungle Cruise. Like that was the one thing. Like being a tour guide on Jungle Cruise, a skipper on Jungle Cruise. Like, oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
I could see you doing that very well.
Yeah, I think if I ever retire and end up in Disney, I think that's what I'd want to do. Yeah, be a skipper. Or I love doing the live show stuff. I love interacting with crowds, like doing like the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Like they interact with the crowd. Like that would be a lot of fun. There was another show called Lights Motors Action where they had like a director. Like that would be a lot of fun to do.
You could be the dude that talks to the birds in the tiki room.
That's true.
That's a good one.
I could do that. There's a lot of things. Pretty much any way I can interact with an audience, I'm always up for. Like that was my favorite. When I did the Great Movie Ride, it was me talking to a crowd of people, 70 people at a time for 22 minutes. When I did the backlot tour, we would load it up. Like sometimes there would be shows of 200 people, sometimes there'd be shows of 10. Sometimes the end of the night they would just fill it up. So the last show would be like 500 people. Yeah. So it's like I love that stuff. It was so much fun. So yeah, anything like that. But yeah, Jungle Cruise would be a dream, I think. And our last question of the week is @boy33 says, what attraction has the best costumes for cast members? Mine would be the Haunted Mansion with their nice suits and dresses. Big fan of the show, always makes me smile. I'm currently on the Disney Culinary Program, and listening to this as I'm going/leaving work makes me smile. Keep up the hard work, guys. The Disney Culinary Program.
Disney Culinary.
I wonder what that is.
It's like a cooking school for Disney.
Maybe we might have to talk to you about getting on the show and find out a little bit more about the Disney Culinary Program. I like. Do you have any ideas for this? I know this is kind of a little bit more like you probably haven't seen as many sort of costumes and stuff. Yeah. I love the costumes at Rise of the Resistance. Because they have it's such a range of costumes. Yeah. I know you haven't ridden the ride yet, or have you ridden the ride?
Not Rise of the Resistance, but I've done the
Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run ride, yeah.
So all in Batu, the Black Spire Outpost, they've got some really cool costumes, and apparently they actually sort of have racks where you can go in as a cast member and be like, I want that, and that, and they'll actually say you can just sort of piecemeal together your outfit.
Build your character.
Yeah. So it's not the exact same jacket or exact same shirt. It's like everyone has a little bit unique look to them. And Rise of the Resistance, it's that, but they also have, I'll just say they have some Imperial characters as well, and they have very much the outfits straight from the movies, and it's really, really cool. And so seeing kind of that back and forth is a lot of fun, how they all interact with each other. So
it's very cool.
That'd be my favorite. So there you go. But that's going to do it for our questions from you. Please, if you're listening to this or you're watching this, go to our comments over at Rooster Teeth and leave a comment, leave a question. I love reading questions. We have so many great ones. And now I have a question for you, the audience, where if you answer this question, I will pull down some random answers and select one, and we'll send you a park map. Jeff and I signed some park maps, and I'll mail you a park map. We did.
We finally did.
We finally did about a month and a half ago, but we finally did. And we'll get some more when we go to the various parks over the next few weeks. So my question for you this week is, who would you want to see star in a theme park attraction? Because this one, we had Gary Sinise, we had Gina Torres. Who do you want to see pop up as someone in the safety ride or, whatever? In Disaster, Christopher Walken was in it. They had,
okay.
Rick Moranis was in Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
This is for the, this is a question for the audience.
This is a question for the future. If you have an answer for it, feel free to.
Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern Show.
What would his attraction be?
I don't care. Put him in any attraction.
Okay.
For any reason.
Okay.
It would be awesome.
When he says Beetlejuice, of those of you not Howard Stern fans, he's not talking about the Michael Keaton Beetlejuice.
I'll take that one too.
Beetlejuice
and Rise of the Resistance. How cool would that be?
That would be kind of cool. I'd be down for it. All right. Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think. So many celebrities have popped up in rides already. The Rock has been in a bunch of them already. Jeremy Irons is in the Baccarat tour in Paris.
I'll give you a real answer. I think who I think would be really good.
Who's that? Because
they just own roles and they're so expressive. I think Jim Carrey would be interesting.
Ooh, that'd be kind of fun. Wonder what sort of ride
he's so Fireman Freddy or I don't know, who knows, but because or the Masks Wild Ride or whatever.
Yeah.
But because he so commits to those roles.
Yeah, he definitely dives into them pretty heavily. Man, did you watch that video where someone introduced him to their daughter and she was a fan of the Grinch and she's like, he's not the Grinch, and then he just contorts his face into the Grinch. It's like, holy crap, man!
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Dude's freaking
talented.
A
Grinch ride would be great.
I would like to hear
the Grinch Steals Christmas, and you're like,
there's a long legacy of great voice actors and actresses doing Spaceship Earth. It's been like I think it was Julie Andrews is what I said. I think that was wrong actually. But I think
you did say Julie Andrews.
I think Jeremy Irons has done it. I think Walter Cronkite did it like with the first one. I would love to get like a George Takei to do that. I think
George
that would
Takei be great.
He has such a great voice.
Yeah, he does.
That'd be fun to hear him do that.
And there's like he's one of those people that has like gravitas when he speaks.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. So anyway, that would be my guess, I think, or off the top of my head. That's what I'm going to throw out there. So please, in the comments, let us know who would you want to see star in a theme park attraction, either voice or actually be in it, and what would that be? So let us know in the comments. In the future, I will randomly pull someone who answered that question, and I will post it, or we'll announce it, and you'll get an autographed theme park map from us. So it's the way that we get some awesome interaction with you beautiful people in the community. You guys are great. And because we are recording this one way in advance, I'm not going to answer one because it would be like 2 months old at this point, and I don't want to do that. So anyway.
I'll answer one.
Okay.
It was C. It was the third option.
Oh, I thought it was, you're a fan of land, air, or, and you went with C. So, but that's going to do it for this week's episode of Annual Pass. Hopefully we got the video version of it working too. We're doing a test. We're giving ourselves plenty of runway to do a test. And again, if you aren't subscribed, youtube.com/, I almost said my name, youtube.com/annual pass. Go on over there, subscribe. We're going to start posting the old episodes as well, kind of like slowly drip them on as well and get them all up there. But you can go see video there, and we're also going to put video on our site, and there's just lots of fun places that we're doing. We're trying to expand our reach and try to meet other people.
The Annual Pass universe.
The APU.
The APU, as we call
absolutely.
it. APU.
So thank you very much. Jeff, do you feel like you learned something today?
Yeah, man. I learned I learned to avoid the orange ride.
Yeah, the Mission Orange or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. We'll ride it together and hopefully not throw up on each other.
2.5 Gs.
2.5 Gs. That's so many lateral Gs.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to do it, everyone. Thank you very much. Again, check out store.roosterteeth.com. We have our Annual Pass merchandise. We probably still have that spooky shirt up in the store. I love that shirt so much, as well as the spooky hats. I'm trying to convince them to do a turkey-themed shirt, Jeff. So this is early enough, I think, when we talk about it. So we talked about doing a turkey shirt. And yeah, and then I know we've got some holiday stuff in the line too. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So check that out, store.roosterteeth.com. Make sure to wear your stuff in the park. Send us photos because I love seeing photos of you wearing our merch in the park. So that'll do it this week. We love you. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Make sure to tell all your friends and family and everyone you know about Annual Pass. Keep it going. Spread the love. That is Annual Pass and all the pass holders. And we will see you next week for more. Bye.
Bye.